1994 U.S. $quarter coin. Today, we're tackling a rumor that's been making the rounds, sparking through countless coin jars. The idea that your humble 1994 U.S. $quarter could be worth a fortune. We're talking millions of dollars. You've probably seen the clickbait, heard the whispers online, or maybe even held one of these seemingly ordinary coins and wondered, could this really be my ticket to an early retirement? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the truth behind this tempting rumor. We'll explore why this particular quarter isn't likely to be your lottery ticket, what actual rare US coins look like, and how easily misinformation can spread in the digital age. Let's separate fact from fantasy. First, let's get acquainted with our star, the 1994 US $quarter. It features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse, and the iconic heraldic eagle on the reverse. These coins are made of a copper-nickel clad composition. Now, for the cold, hard facts. In 1994, the U.S. Mint produced an absolutely staggering number of quarters, 1,246,812,000 from the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P. 875,200,000 from the Denver Mint, marked with a D. That's over 2.1 billion quarters in a single year. When you have that many coins of a particular year and mint mark, they are, by definition, common. So, if you pull a regular 1994 quarter out of your change, its value is, well, 25 cents. Perhaps a little more if it's in absolutely pristine, uncirculated condition, maybe $1 or $2 for a very keen collector, but certainly not enough to buy a cup of coffee, let alone a multi-million-dollar yacht. So, where does this millions rumor come from? Like many coin myths, it stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes a coin truly valuable: extreme rarity, significant minting error, or when we talk about million-dollar coins. In the US, we are talking about numismatic legends that are in an entirely different league. These are often not quarters, and were definitely not found in your everyday change. For example, this is currently the most valuable coin ever sold. Nearly 500,000 were minted, but none were officially released due to the US abandoning the gold standard. Most were melted. A handful escaped, and one specific example, after decades of legal battles, sold for a staggering $18.9 million in 2021. The 1787 Brasher doubloon, one of the earliest American gold coins struck privately before the U.S. Mint, was fully operational. Its extreme rarity and historical importance have led to sales of over $9 million. You see the common thread here? These coins are not found in your spare change. They are either ancient, or they were never intended for circulation, or they exist in minuscule numbers due to unique historical circumstances. So, how did the 1994 quarter get dragged into this million-dollar narrative? It's often a case of mistaken identity, sensationalism, and a fundamental misunderstanding of what constitutes a genuine error coin. Confusion with other years/errors. The most likely source of this persistent myth is confusion with other US coins that do have known, genuine errors that make them valuable. For example, some 1970s quarters have a tiny no-S error in proof sets, making them rare, hundreds or thousands, not millions. Or perhaps early Washington quarters from the 1930s with specific mint errors or varieties. People often misremember the year or the denomination when a rumor starts. There are no known, widely recognized, and multi-million-dollar errors specific to the 1994 U.S. quarter. Misinterpretation of proof, or special strike, coins. The U.S. Mint produces proof coins and special mint sets for collectors each year, including 1994. These coins are struck to a much higher standard than circulation coins and are sold directly to collectors. A 1994 quarter from a proof set will be worth more than a circulating one, perhaps a few dollars for the single coin, or more as part of the full set, but again, nowhere near millions. These are not errors, just collector's items. Exaggerated error claims and scams. While genuine minting errors can make a coin valuable, e.g., off-center strikes, doubled dies, missing features, these are usually quite obvious and occur on any year of coinage, not just 1994. There are no known, widely recognized, and consistently multi-million-dollar errors specific to the 1994 U.S. quarter. Any claims of such errors you see online for the 1994 quarter are highly likely to be vastly exaggerated, misidentified, or unfortunately, outright scams trying to capitalize on misinformation. The truth is, the 1994 quarter is an incredibly common coin. Its mintage figures confirm it. Unless you discover a truly unique, unprecedented error that has somehow escaped the attention of every numismatic expert and U.S. Mint official for decades, your 1994 quarter is, unfortunately, worth just what it says on the tin, 25 cents. So, if the 1994 quarter isn't your golden ticket, what should you be looking for in your change? Or if you're seriously getting into coin collecting? The principles for finding truly valuable coins are consistent, regardless of the year. Low mintage figures, this is key. Coins with very low production numbers for circulation are inherently rarer. The lower the mintage, the higher the potential value. Remember, 1994 quarters were over 2 billion. Genuine minting errors look for clear, unmistakable errors from the minting process. Mules, a coin struck with dies not intended to be paired together, e.g., a reverse from one denomination on the obverse of another. These are incredibly rare and highly valuable. Striking errors, off-center strikes, part of the design missing, significant doubled dies, visible doubling of letters/numbers, or planchet errors, coins struck on the wrong metal blank. These must be significant and verifiable. Unique compositions or varieties, sometimes, test coins or coins struck on the wrong metal planchet escape the mint. These are very rare. Exceptional condition, proof and uncirculated. Even a relatively common coin can fetch a premium if it's in absolutely flawless, mint state, brilliant uncirculated or proof condition, especially older coins that rarely survive in such quality. This premium typically applies to collector coins, not circulation finds. Historical significance, coins tied to major historical events, unique designs, or from very early periods of coinage can be highly collectible due to their historical context. Always cross-reference any suspicious findings with reputable numismatic sources, official mint websites like the U.S. Mint's mintage figures, and established auction house records. Be very wary of sensational claims on social media or unverified online listings without concrete, expert-backed evidence. So, while your 1994 U.S. quarter is almost certainly not going to make you a millionaire, don't dismiss the humble quarter entirely. Collecting coins is a fantastic hobby. Each coin tells a story, a small, tangible piece of a nation's history in your hand. And who knows, maybe one day you will stumble upon a genuine rarity. Not necessarily a multi-million-dollar quarter, but perhaps a valuable error, a scarce proof, or an older piece that connects you directly to centuries past. The real treasure is often the thrill of the discovery and the joy of the hunt, even if it's just finding a well-preserved piece of your own history. So, go forth, check your change, and remember, while the 1994 quarter might not buy you a yacht, it's still a neat piece of U.S. currency from 30 years ago. Thanks for watching.